So you're a bit short on space, you don't have a lot of cashola to throw around, and you don't really want to muck around having to read instructions and put stuff together. You just want to open the box, plug it in, and jump straight in and get to the fun stuff. Sound about right? Well then.
Say hello to my little friend!
Now, while it may not pack quite as much punch as Al Pacino's little friend, this compact and affordable Sculpfun iCube Pro 10-watt enclosed desktop diode laser may just be the ticket to kickstart your laser engraving journey. G'day and welcome to Mr Craftsmith. I'm Darren, and today I'm going to give you the nitty-gritty on this compact little diode laser. I'll run through a list of its main features, point out the things I like about it, and well, it's not all rainbows and unicorns when it comes to this laser, so I'll cover some of the issues I found with it, as well as the workarounds and improvements I've made to the unit to potentially make it a far more practical and easier unit to work with. So let's jump in and see what my little friend is all about.
Upon opening, we're greeted with everything securely in place. It's cushioned by a protective outer foam casing, ensuring a safe arrival. Now, it's a well thought out package with the additional laser parts contained within the main chassis, with additional foam packaging, making it a compact, well protected unit that, in my opinion, will travel well for delivery. Assembly is refreshingly straightforward. The main task is simply attaching the laser module itself. Now, it's just a matter of a single thumb screw, and it's a larger diameter thumb screw than previous models that I've worked with, which is great, and a power supply connection to the main board and connecting the power. No intricate steps, no confusion. Now, included with the laser, we do have a set of protective glasses in the event that you'll be working with larger engraving material that cannot be contained within the safety shroud. There's also a very basic instruction manual. There's not much to instruct when it's straight out of the box. There's a handy laser repair kit with a spare protective lens and a couple of other things to help you with maintenance on the machine. There's also a spare smoke filter for when you need to change that over, which is great that they include that as well. And of course, the power supply to get everything up and running. So in short, it's everything I guess you'd hope for in an unboxing. It's well packaged, simple to set up, with all the necessary accessories to start your laser engraving journey. Now, unboxing this laser is less like opening a Pandora's box of parts and more like unwrapping a gift that's ready to make something straight out of the box. So let's move on and see this machine in action.
So when it comes to features of this machine, at the top of the list is its compact size and lightweight construction. Measuring just 30 by 26 by 23 centimeters, or roughly 12 by 10 by 9 inches, this laser takes up about a quarter of the real estate of a standard desktop diode laser. So it's perfect for scenarios where you don't have a lot of space to work with. Great for the hobby room or even on your desk beside your computer. The main body of the laser is a plastic construction, which keeps it lightweight, while the main gantry system of the laser is extruded aluminium that you would expect to see on other desktop diode lasers. The engraving area for this laser is a compact 120 by 120 millimeters, or just under 5 inches square. While this is considerably less than a standard desktop diode laser, usually around that 16 inches square, in my opinion, I don't really think Sculpfun are trying to compete with that style of laser. This laser is designed for smaller projects like coasters, jewelry, tags, business cards, and those sorts of projects. Now, you can still use larger size materials, you just need to remove the protective shroud to allow for that bigger size material. Now, if you are doing that, remember to wear protective eyewear when the laser is in use. Now, with its small size comes portability, and being portable makes it perfect if you're attending craft shows or traveling, or moving it from one room to another. It's not really going to take up much space at all. Now, it doesn't consume a lot of power, so you could easily run this on one of those numerous portable battery solutions out there, which again is great for those craft shows or similar events to attract people to your creations by seeing a laser engraver in operation. Affordability is always a consideration for me with my hobbies, and generally I don't have a lot of spare cash to throw around. So the good news with the iCube Pro 10-watt desktop diode laser is that at the time of recording this video, the price is quite affordable at just under $400 US. Now, the link to purchase the machine is down in the description. It is an affiliate link, so what that means is it doesn't cost you any extra, And if you use my link, I get a small kickback for helping Sculpfun out with this video, which is great because anything I earn from this channel helps me produce more content. The iCube comes in multiple power options, including a 3, a 5, and a 10 watt version. Now I've got the 10 watt version and it provides plenty of engraving power and speed for all of your projects. Now while a 10 watt laser can and will cut 3mm plywood, MDF and some dark coloured cast acrylics, I'd be reluctant to use this laser in this capacity due to the lack of air assist and the size restrictions of the cutting area of the laser. The built-in smoke filter is going to reduce the contaminants in the air if you're working in a small space. And while it is effective at doing so, I would always recommend having it close to a window or similar, as what I've found is while it does remove the majority of contaminants and smoke, it doesn't necessarily eliminate the odour. So having it close to an open window or vented outside, it's just going to make the whole experience more pleasing and pleasant for you. Safety should always be your #1 priority when it comes to enjoying your hobby. Now, the enclosure or protective shroud gives you peace of mind, knowing that if you have children or pets in the area, they're not going to be accidentally exposed to potentially harmful diode laser light emissions. Sculpfun do offer a free app on both iOS and Android that you can wirelessly connect to the laser, which gives you the ability to do some basic creations directly on your phone. Now, I did try using the app, and while it is functional, I think there's still a bit of work to be done to make it more practical to use in regular operation. You're limited with your text functionality with only one font size available, and editing your design is limited, so keep that in mind. You can control speed and power settings of the iCube through the app. However, the placement of your artwork is always restricted to the 0 origin on both the X and Y axis, which could make material placement a bit clunky. Like I mentioned in my intro, it's not all rainbows and unicorns when it comes to this laser. So let's review some of those issues and some potential workarounds for them. The protective shroud for the laser, while effective, can be a little bit tricky to line up with the body of the laser, and I've found myself having to lift the machine at the front to get the shroud to fit. Now, that's not ideal for me, so a workaround, I simply added a couple of acrylic tabs on either side, which helps me guide the shroud into place. It's an easy fix, and I reckon Sculpfun could easily incorporate this feature into the design of the main body without too much trouble. Nevertheless, this simple fix improves the performance of the operation of that shroud significantly. Now, job alignment is next on my list here. Now, as it is out of the box, there is no definitive way to align your work, which is fine if you're doing the odd project and you can fiddle around with placement using Lightburn, using your framing tool, and doing the little job jiggle. However, my preference is always to have some sort of alignment tool, and I came up with a couple of solutions to address this problem. The first solution was to use the included anodized aluminium plate. However, it sits loosely on the top of the base of the engraving area, so there's no fixed reference point from engrave to engrave. So using my other Sculpfun laser, the S30 Pro 10 watt, I cut out a snug fitting base that fits within the base of the iCube, which is great. Then using some double-sided tape, I attached the anodized plate to it. Now this gave me a definable surface area that doesn't move around, so I simply engraved the reference grid to the base plate, as shown in the image here. Now I can accurately align my work to a reference point on the grid. To take it a step further, to have a repeatable reference point that could be used to positively align your job to a specific point, I used a similar principle as the first solution, cutting out a snug fitting base plate from 3mm MDF and subsequently engraving that same reference grid onto it. Then using that design, I created a squaring jig as shown in the picture, which then means I can align my job, and in my use case that I envisage, it's a small rectangular box that I engrave for my other business, and I do that on a pretty regular basis. Now, knowing that the reference point or job origin is set to X equals 10, Y equals 10, I can place my template into Lightburn accurately and represent my box size to work within that for easy, repeatable production results. One of the other issues I had with the iCube was the Y-axis misalignment. Now, as with any mass-produced machine, there is going to be a small number of machines that aren't quite perfect off the assembly line. Unfortunately, the iCube I received was one of those machines. The problem I had, as shown in the image, the Y-axis was skewed, producing a parallelogram effect rather than a square. Now this misalignment of the y-axis meant that the square was off by around about 1 millimetre over a 100 millimetre distance, which may not sound like a lot, but if you were to use this to cut out boxes and things like that, you wouldn't be able to assemble them squarely. And for me, I'm a bit of a detail nut, so I knew I needed to fix this. So there was no real immediate easy solution when I took the top cover off the laser. However, I was able to get some gains by adjusting the concentric nuts on the gantry. So I reached out to Sculpfun, who promptly sent me some links to some maintenance videos showing me how to align the y-axis. So this to me suggests that it is a bit of a problem with the design, but saying that, there has to be a trade-off between price and quality. Now, that's not a bad thing by any means, it's just a fact of economy of scale. Now, to the regular Joe that doesn't have a lot of confidence with machine assembly or disassembly, probably the main reason they bought the machine in the first place, this could present a bit of an issue. However, I found the video to be quite well explained and I was able to disassemble the unit quite easily and reassemble with a great outcome. Now, the other problem I encountered was a problem with overscanning. Now, I won't go into a lot of detail in this video, however, you can see in the image the comb-like effect of the individual line scans and engraves. Basically put, the laser has to accelerate and decelerate at the start and end of each line as it moves from left to right and right to left. The idea of overscanning is to compensate for this movement and fire the laser correctly so that your engravings align correctly. Now, I may have some issues with the electronic board on this one, perhaps, I'm not really sure. I need to do some more testing to establish this. However, in Lightburn, you can manually set overscan for different speeds, and with some testing, you can see that the outcome is much better. In this example, you can see, for comparison's sake, you can see an engraving that I did with my other Sculpfun laser, the S30 Pro, and I think it gives a sharp engrave. Now, I'm sure with a little more adjustment, I can get even better results from the iCube. So while I have had a few teething problems with this laser, I'm sure Sculpfun will consider feedback from its users, as it has done in the past, and make some small improvements to the model over time. So getting down to the nuts and bolts, who do I think this laser is actually designed for? Now, before I jump into that, let me just say that this laser is not designed for higher volume production type work or the professional laser engraving operation. And I'm confident that Sculpfun are under no illusions as to this, because they do offer higher powered and bigger diode lasers. So here's who I think this laser is perfect for. As I've already suggested, this is a great little laser for the beginner just getting started, where you don't have a bunch of spare space. You prefer not to have to assemble the unit yourself, and you just want to try things out without spending a lot of your hard-earned cash. This could also be used as a secondary laser just for engraving projects, while your main larger diode or CO2 laser does the cutting operations and bigger engraves. And that's a potential scenario that I'm looking at, as I can leave this set up with the jig, knowing that I can quickly engrave my USB boxes with ease. Now, these are generally done one at a time, so not having to change my other diode laser setup for just one box is an attractive proposition. The other use case that I see, as I alluded to earlier, is for the hobby crafter that may attend craft fairs and events, where they want to use this more as a marketing tool to attract potential clients and offer engraving personalization on the spot. So there you have it. That's my take on the Sculpfun iCube Pro 10-watt desktop diode laser. Thanks to Sculpfun for reaching out to see if I'd be interested in taking a look at this laser. Now, I hope you have found some value in the information I presented. The links for purchase are in the description, plus links to Sculpfun if you want to have a look at what other offerings they have available. So thanks for tuning in, and until the next video, be creative and stay grateful. Bye for now.